trophy back over to Europe here. I'm not sure how we all feel about that here, but I'm sure these guys are happy. Let's head down to the feature match area for the finals here from Madison. Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Madison. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Bueller, and we've reached the finals here, Randy. Two European players, Magnus Lantto versus Raphael Levy. Raph, of course, a Hall of Famer. Magnus Lantto is our most recent Magic Online champion, so two big names finding themselves in the finals here of Battle for Zendikar Limited. This is the first premier level event for the new limited format, and these two gentlemen doing some Pro Tour testing, came out a bit early, and they find themselves in the finals here.
Yeah, Lanto's got a blue-red deck, a lot of colorless synergies. Raph is on Naya. Not a lot of synergy, but solid card quality. Lantto kind of an up-and-comer. Certainly, rapidly on the way to establishing himself as a regular at these big premier events. Levy, the wily veteran, can't be more veteran than Raph Levy.
No.
He made his debut in Season 2 of the Pro Tour. 1996, I believe. Might have been 97.
He's like never fallen off either, right?
No. He's played more Pro Tours than anyone ever. He has more Pro points than anyone ever. He has more cash finishes at the Pro Tour than anyone ever. 20 Grand Prix top 8s on top of his Pro Tour resume, and looking for win number 5.
Wow.
Which, by the way, if he wins this, a majority of those will be in North America.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? It's funny. He actually won the first GP that I was ever in the booth for. Now, I wasn't in the booth the whole time. I was only in there for a couple of rounds. But it was in Austin.
Yep.
And he won that GP, I remember. One of my first jobs on coverage, in fact, was to sit behind him and watch him draft and take notes so that I had something to say when they put me in the booth. Yeah, remember he drafted a blue-white deck.
I wonder how many coverage reporters he's gone through in his 15-year career or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
it's crazy.
It's not 15, it's like an 18-year career.
Yeah, he's branched out a little bit in the later part of his career here. He got married. He does coverage for us on our European coverage team. But the guy can still battle.
Yeah, he's also a martial arts expert.
Yes.
He actually runs, his day job is to run a magazine devoted to martial arts.
Yeah. It's named like Jitte or something.
It is named Jitte.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to mess with him. Yes, he's a nice guy. Don't test it. Now, Magnus Lantto on the other side, relative newcomer to the high-level pro scene here. He's had some finishes at GPs, but really it's the Magic Online Championship that he won that's sort of the big stamp for Magnus. It's a hard thing to win.
Magnus is from Sweden.
Yes.
Hangs out with another Hall of Famer, Ularade. They've been playing together for a long time.
Yeah, Raph, of course, comes from France.
Lived in Sweden for a couple years.
Raph did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, things are moving forward here for, it looks like, both players' game plans. We see a Merc Strider there for Magnus Lantto alongside the Incubator drone. But a nice little turn here for Raph Levy. He's got the pair of gliders here. They're going to continue to apply pressure in the air. We've seen this strategy do good work throughout the course of the weekend, or I should say throughout the course of today and draft. Ooh, here's a nice tempo play. Adverse conditions for Lantto. It's going to get him in for 5 damage here and keep the blockers at bay. 2 cards left in hand there for Lantto. Raph's down to 11 already, and Magnus looks like he's trying to turn this thing into a race, leveraging the tempo gain from that adverse conditions. But Raph says, yeah, we can race. Hit with the glider. And that's a territorial Bailoff there for Raph Levy to follow up. So, yeah, he's got some big hitters, too. And Magnus is all the way down to 14 as well. This is a big turn for Magnus. If you can keep the pressure up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tap that and awaken my mountain. It's not untapping next turn either.
Wow.
There's a lot of tempo spells in blue in this set.
There are. Absolutely. They can really punish the big stuff strategy. Now, that's not what Raph's doing here, but it's working just the same. Look at Raph's life total. He's down to 2. He's not quite facing lethal here, but he is not in a good position. The good news for Raph is that it's his turn. He's got at least 5 mana at his disposal and his draw step for this turn. So can he turn this game around? You got to figure he's one more tempo play away from just being dead, right? But
yeah.
I think that Raph doesn't have the luxury of playing around, you know, a Clutch of Currents or anything along that line. So
I mean, he's not even in good shape if Lantto just turns it sideways, right? He's
No.
defending himself with 2/2 flyers.
2/2 flyers and
Not
a
what you want to
1/3
be
on the
defending
ground.
yourself with.
No, so he's in a tough spot. The Tide Drifter, of course, is affecting the toughness of the Incubator Drone, the Merc Strider, the land. Yes, it does affect those. They're colorless. And even the Scion there, too. I'd had a look at Lanto's deck list. It looks very straightforward. Blue-red. I think this is going to be a pretty popular archetype in the draft format. And Magnus Lantto has what I would call just like a solid B version of the deck. It's not one of those mind-blowing drafts, but he found his seat. He stayed in it, and it's good. I mean, his deck is good.
What do you grade Raph's deck?
You know, I don't know. I have a list here, but it's hard to visualize. It's actually his draft picks.
Yeah.
And then it shows the cards that he's included, but it's hard to visualize kind of how it all came together. And he's 3 colors.
Right.
Which you can do in this format, though I think he'd prefer not to if given a choice. He's got some really powerful spells, though. No doubt about that. He started things off with a Woodland Wanderer, did Raph Levy, which is a really solid card.
All right, so kill the tap creature, awaken the land of his own.
Sheer Drop doing work there. And Lantto draws his card for the turn, is now surveying the scene. Can he find a victory here? He's got Raph down to 2, but he only has 3 attackers available at the moment, but they're big.
The Scion's not very big.
Yeah, it's a 1/2. Little guy. Merc Strider's a 3/3, though.
And that's Incubator Drone, right?
Yeah.
Did Lantto not put a Scion into play but from that adverse conditions 2 turns ago?
Yeah, that's the one here.
Isn't that the one from the Incubator Drone?
No, I don't know where that one went. I didn't see that one.
I don't remember that one dying. Huh, doesn't really matter. We're here.
We're here, yeah.
Yeah, Incubator Drone's still just 2 power, so the 1/3 can hold it off. Lantto picking up the only creature that can attack profitably. And
Yeah,
serving.
It's going to draw a double block here. Maybe even a triple. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, sort of the baseline block is Glider plus Healer on it, but you could even put all 3.
Yeah. I think you put all 3. That way if Lantto has a trick, you're still killing it. It's not like you're... I mean, Lantto has his choice of which one creature to kill.
Yeah, a question that Raph's going to ask himself here is, if Lantto did have a trick, would he have just used it to kill, you know, one of the flyers
But what's
first?
the drawback? Of
Right.
adding the 3rd creature.
Right, yeah.
So.
These are just the things that are going through his head.
Oh, Levy's got Dragon Master Outcast in his hand, but no mountain.
Yeah, no mountain. He's only got 3 mountains in the deck.
Should he draw a mountain, though? It is land number 6.
Indeed.
And that's the entire splashes for the Outcast, right? I think it's the Outcast plus a little bit of Converge that benefits. I don't think there's any other red spells. I think it's just the Outcast. So he got 4th pick. I would splash for it, especially given that he's got, you know, Woodland Wanderer, and I think maybe another Converge spell.
Yeah, he's got Infused with the elements as well.
mean, Lantto didn't have any follow-up after that attack phase. Levy may actually have this board stabilized. He's going to try attacking with his glider. Get in there for 2.
And a Grove Tender Druids is the follow-up. No, that's going to get snapped off here, though. It was a spell shrivel. You know, it did seem a little suspicious that Lantto had just nothing that turn. And, you know, you can see why now. He had a counter spell.
Board's still stabilized.
Totally.
Or, in fact, Edge Levy. He's able to chip away with the glider.
Yeah, he's in a touchy position just because he is at 2 life. Yeah. But this is the point where, you know, he's going to need to try to push it and make sure that he can close out this game as quickly as possible. He does not want to give Lantto the chance. And, you know, we've seen that he's got a lot of tempo plays in the deck, and it won't take much for him to get dead. So he is going to have to try as hard as he can here to close out. Yeah, if he could find a land, he could start getting in with that Baloth, but it just gets blocked right now by the Tide Drifter, and he just can't find that land. So Magnus Lantto, you can see he keeps playing his lands even though he's floating out a little bit. He does have a reason for that. He's got an Invoker in his hand, and he wants to have enough mana to be able to cast it and make sure that he can activate it the next turn.
Drowner would win for Magnus Lantto.
Yep.
He's already gone through, what, the Rush of Ice and the Clutch? And the adverse conditions. He's got a Stone Fury.
Ooh, there's a mountain off the top, Randy.
Wow.
So that's not only landfall, but more. Let's see what he has here. Resolute Blade Master is what he's going to play here. So all of his creatures get double strike.
Jeez.
And he actually can attack for a lot here. So the glider gets in the air. That's 4. That means that Lantto's at a virtual 6, which means either of the other creatures are lethal on their own. And they're going to have to be blocked here. Also, you'll see that Raph has definitely left up the mana. He's at 4 life. So for his healer down there to be able to gain another life and start to try to stay out of range. Uh-oh, this is huge.
Scour from existence.
Okay, well, that could have been worse for Raph. You know, he's not happy to see that. But that could have gone a lot worse for him.
Yeah. Steel deals 4 and forces the Scion to chomp.
Yeah, this is a big turn now for Lantto. He's top decking here, and he needs to find something pronto. Again, Raph's at a virtual 5 life here. Yeah, and a Benthic Infiltrator isn't it. Wow, Lantto really looked like he had this thing, and Raph refused to die and has now got himself ahead, not only on board, but he's even going to be ahead on life here. Jeez. Now let's see what Raph found for the turn. Is that a Beastmaster? Yeah, it certainly is. So all of his creatures get +1/+1 and double strike.
Double strike.
GG. Just the Shadow Glider in the air is enough to finish him off.
6 power flyer.
Wow.
3 power double striking flyer.
Raph Levy, you can see how serious he is.
He's very serious, but he also wants this. Like we saw, he was exactly the same way in the semifinal, completely stone-faced, completely stoic. Then as soon as the handshake was extended, you know, he shook the hand and you got the fist bump.
You got the fist bump.
Oh, you get the double fist bump. Oh, there's a smile too.
Yeah, I think Magnus might have said something to him. Yeah, you see a little chuckle on Magnus's face there.
He would very much like to win this.
Yeah, it'd be a huge win for Raph. I mean, the guy's been playing for so long. He hasn't won anything in a little while, but I mean, wins don't come often in Magic.
Right.
It is very difficult to actually full-on win a Magic tournament. And we have, you know, players that have been full-time professional Magic players for years and actually haven't won a tournament. It's very difficult to take the trophy. All right, so a little bit of relief here for Raph Levy as he finds himself up a game and in a close one, too. I mean, that was not an easy victory for Raph. It really looked like Magnus was going to be able to close it out, but he just couldn't get there. Looks like just one sideboard swap there for Raph. And he's 1 game away from being our champion. What a nice way to start off his Pro Tour week, right? Take a trophy in there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have had that awesome start to the Pro Tour week. Did you look at the 12 and 3s at this event? All names.
Just big name after
Just
big name.
Big name. Owen Turtenwald started 12-3. He's broken the 11 and 4 curse. Up to 12-3. Froelich went 12-3.
Jeez.
Just name after name after name up and down the standings.
2 names right there. Yeah, we had a nice top 8 here as well. Jeremy Dezani was in the top 8. Paul Rietzel was in the top 8.
Well, Paul Riesel's always in the top 8.
Yeah, do I even need to say it at this point?
I mean, how long? This season's been going on forever, right? He's got 3 top 8s. And a world's top 4.
We haven't had a PT.
That's his season so far. 3 GP top 8s. 3 different formats. I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
He top 8'd San Diego in Standard, the one that the Tutelage deck won. He
Yes.
top 8'd Oklahoma City in Modern with the Merfolk deck. And he top 8'd here. That's all since the last Pro Tour. 3 GP top 8s, and then the world's top 4 in between.
I wonder how many is he platinum? Is it early for platinum?
No, I think it's quarterfinal loss, semifinal loss, but still.
Okay.
The world's top 4 had some points attached to it.
Yeah, for sure. And all those match points, too. Make sure you tune in next week, by the way, for the Pro Tour. We just mentioned it. October 16th through 18th, we'll be in Milwaukee bringing you Pro Tour Battle for Zendikar. We're going to watch more BFZ draft as well as Standard and figure out what the brand new shaken up Standard format looks like. All right, well, let's jump back down here to our main match. Is that a Cliffside Lookout there for Raph Levy? It looks like it.
Yeah, I mean, he's an Allies deck.
Yeah.
Basically, he's an Allies deck.
Yeah. And, we were talking about it earlier, Randy. The Naya seems to be a good place to be for Allies.
Yeah, although the Colostri Healer is very, very good if you can make the mana work in your Allies deck. We saw Paul Rietzel getting distracted by them. He didn't ultimately run them, but was was tempted enough to draft them.
And he did sideboard into him.
Yeah, Levy's third pick was actually a Colostri Healer, which he also could not quite make the mana work for. Right, we saw Rietzel try to side into it for game 2.
It was to no avail. All right, so Shadow Glider is the follow-up here for Levy. Good little start here. Also, you'll notice that he's got Niatron all set up there.
Niatron?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Incubator drone, and there's that 1/1 sign. I'm not sure if he got it in that other game or not. I did see him put it into play from his
I think he forgot to get a Scion from the adverse conditions. I don't know if it mattered.
I saw it from the adverse conditions, but I think maybe from the drone. Oh, geez. A perfect turn 4 play here.
Wow.
Huge threat. Woodland Wanderer now is a 5/5 Vigilance Trample.
Not bad.
Hey, you want to race, Magnus?
Yeah, I got one unblockable.
What does Magnus have to add to the board here? A Herald of Kozilek. That is not going to do it. Now, next turn, he could have some explosive, awesome turn and turn this thing around, but no, he's going to take a good crunch of damage here. And he could be taking 7 here pretty easily. I think Levy might be out of lands here, which means he's on a grip of all spells.
Does also mean he has to be a little concerned. There is 5 power over there, attacking with Woodland Wanderer. You could get it killed. It's like any trick will do it. But the Lookout, there's no 5th mana for the Lookout to be the trick. The Magnus Lantto is just respect. Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those spots where, like, are you far enough behind that you have to risk the triple block?
Maybe so.
And just cross your fingers?
I mean, if it works, you're quite happy.
Oh, indeed. Yeah. Yeah.
You lose, like,
I mean, Levy's
just
good.
2 creatures.
Levy's good enough to bluff there. Just you're representing so many tricks that not a lot of people will block there. Blocking is underrated.
He's representing basically every trick in the format with,
Yes.
with these colors that he's got.
Yeah, I might have risked the triple block. I feel like you so far, but I don't know what's in Magnus's hand though. If he's got a good turn set up for here, then fair enough.
Well, let's see what he does.
Like maybe he's got a Scour. If he's got like a Scour from Existence in his hand or a 6/6.
How about an Invoker? Go.
That does not seem good enough to me. No, I would have triple blocked.
Well, we're going to see a block here now.
If that's all I had lined up for this turn, I would have triple blocked last turn and crossed my fingers.
You know, there's also the issue of the Cliffside Lookout down there as well.
Right.
It went 1 land away, and
exactly.
And that's another point of toughness on the Woodland Wanderer. Raph Levy finds himself up a game here in Madison against Magnus Lantto and ahead on board, I would say, as well. So
fair.
This is
closing in on his 5th career Grand Prix win in top 8, number 20.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Raph is the most prolific Magic player ever.
Yeah,
he's
fair.
professional Magic player.
More pro points than anyone in the history of the game. More cash money finishes than anyone in the history of the game.
He's also remarkably consistent at the Pro Tour level.
Yeah, that's right. Like more top 32s than anyone ever.
Looks like he's really torn about how to approach this turn, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now there's enough blockers that he can quad block the Wanderer and not even. I mean, the trick isn't even good enough. So yeah, Raph's just like, we'll take this to the air. Now I got a 2-turn clock.
Yeah, I think he really wanted to hit a land. It just felt like that was a turn that he could really
Land's pretty good
lay
next
the
turn.
punishment on. Yeah, but instead it's
2/2 flyers turned into 3/3 flyers. That seems okay.
Yeah, especially with Magnus down to 8. Magnus is in a tough spot here too. Oh yeah, he definitely wanted to land. You know what Raph has in his hand? Resolute Blade Master.
Ooh.
All right, was that a scour? I mean, he's got that incubator drone. 6. I just can't see Lantto's graveyard here. Did he just fire off the Invoker?
No, Invoker, yeah. He
just
invokered.
Okay.
8 mana. Sacked the Scion to get
Gotcha.
the 8th mana so that he could
Yeah. All right.
invoke the Glider. Before Raph untaps. He didn't want to let Raph have any mana available to defend it with.
Yeah, solid play there for Lantto. He's not really moving his own game plan forward here, but he's just attempting to keep Raphael Levy, who really has had a nice draw, and I think with the land here would be fully in the driver's seat, but just can't quite find that fifth
That Invoker
mana.
could actually take over this board.
Absolutely. If Raph, like the clock is ticking now on Raph. He needs to find either pressure or a land to get through a big chunk of damage. He has not been able to do it. Yeah, this great start from Levy could evaporate very quickly if he can't capitalize on it.
It's rare that you're excited about getting to 8 lands before your opponent gets to 5. But Invokers changed that a little bit. Yeah, now Raph's going to send him everything. Try to see if he can get Lantto involved in some blocking.
Yeah, especially if it involves that that Invoker.
I don't think Lantto is going to block with the Invoker.
So he
feels like that's his game.
So he still has a triple block then on the Wanderer.
Yeah. Yeah, right? 5 power. Levy can actually only kill one of those creatures without a trick? Is that true?
Interesting. It looks like Lantto may be chumping and just taking a damage off of the Woodland Wanderer here.
He wants to kill the McKindy Patrol.
In order to get rid of the patrol.
He is risking the Invoker in combat there. Although Levy needs a trick to kill it.
Yeah, just not having that mana for Levy's really just killing him here. Especially as, you know, he is going to lose a creature here, and the fewer creatures you have when you finally get that Resolute Blade Master, well, the worse it is. Now the good news for Raph Levy here, though, is he is getting in for 3 damage.
Yeah, 1 trample, 2 in the air.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Magnus down to 8.
And the Wanderer will still be alive when the dust settles. I mean, this text isn't that bad, right?
Oh, this is infused with the elements.
Whoa.
That's for 3. That's 3 +1/+1 counters right there.
That is now a 5/5 flyer. Out of Invoker range. And Magnus Lanto's down to 2.
He's dead to that thing in the air next turn.
Also, there's a 5/5 Trampler available.
Oh, baby. That was a big play there for Raph. He has to hope that this holds up, but if it does, he's going to be our champion here.
Yeah. I mean, Lanto's got the 8th land for the Invoker, but it's too late.
He's made a dragon.
Who needs
and
5
that's
land?
it. Raph Levy's our champion. He did it. You see the big hands. Look at that.
Wow.
Congratulations to Raph Levy, our champion. You can see how excited he was. He's been playing for all these years. It still feels that good to win a Magic tournament.
Absolutely.
There is nothing routine about that. You get to take a look at Raph. You can see how excited he is, and why shouldn't he be? Congratulations, Raph Levy. You are our champion here in Madison. Also want to congratulate Magnus Lantto. Another great finish for him. really starting to put his name out there as a pro to watch. And a handshake as well for the two Europeans. Like I said, they came, they saw, they conquered. Raph Levy wins Grand Prix Madison.
Wow.